Hello and welcome to another Chelsea chat. Tonight was Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. Could have been a lot more, to be honest. They're a football team and we're not. But the thing that gets me the most, look at Sterling on that second goal. Just let the bloke run by him. £350,000 a week that bloke's supposed to be on. And that is the biggest robbery since Brink's mat. And how he stayed on that pitch till the 71st minute. I love Frank, but he needs sacking just for keeping Sterling on for 71 minutes. When Mudryk came on, he did more in, 19 minutes than Sterling's done in the last 4 or 5 games. And yet he keeps getting picked. I'd love to know what he brings to the side. I'd like to get Frank in a room and say, come on Frank, you're an international footballer, club legend. What do you see in Sterling that you don't see in Mudryk? So yeah, the first half was just an embarrassment. Just an embarrassment. I felt sorry for Aspie. Alright, people say, oh, his legs are gone, this, that and the other. But you know what? He gave 100%. So did Thiago Silva. Not many players on that pitch that can say that they gave 100%, and not many on that pitch can say their concentration was great for 90 minutes. Not many players on that pitch can say we did the basics. I'm fed up. 1967-68 season, my granddad took me to see my first game down at the bridge. Loved it. Been in love with that club ever since. Seen us go down 3 times, is it? Been when we've come up. And don't get me wrong, if someone had told me I'd see us win everything, there was the time I doubted we'd ever win the FA Cup again. I've been disappointed. We've had some bad teams. Going back to, was it 78, 79 and was it 82, 83, 81, 82? I lose track now. But I've been disappointed. But the teams give everything. We've just not had the quality. But they've given everything. And I'm not getting that with this lot. Frank's been put in a bad situation. I don't think he's the greatest manager in the world. I think he's still a young manager. I think he's still learning. He wouldn't have got the jobs he has if he hadn't been such a great player. But he done a good job for us in his first season. I don't care what anyone says. I think that's a matter of fact, not just my opinion. When there was no transfer window and he got us to 4th, I thought he'd done a great job. But if you see him when that second goal went in, he looked absolutely fuming. Embarrassed and fuming. He must think, what have I done? Only put in there by Bowley to take the heat off of Bowley and Co. Because they've made such a cock-up this season. They sacked a world-class manager. Admittedly, we were playing pants at the time. But it puts it into perspective that if we hadn't have had his 11 points from 7 games, we'd be going down. And we brought in Graham Potter, who's going to be a good manager. He's a good manager. Job was just too big for him. These egos were just too big for him. And then what did we decide to do? Flood the dressing room to such an extent they need to open another dressing room and extend the one we're in. None of it makes any sense. But that doesn't excuse these players. Tonight he scored, but Madueke, and I'm not piling on the lad because he hasn't had many minutes, but he left his man. That first goal, he left his man originally. Then Cover doesn't come and close the space down. Kepa never going to save anything from that. Mendy would probably save that. Kepa was never going to do it, but I'm not blaming Kepa. Second goal, Sterling, I would have brought him off then and there. I'd have brought him off there and then, told him to go and get a bath and get home. I wouldn't want him in the dressing room. You stay with your man and you stay goal side of your man. What are you taught when you're 10 years old? Stay goal side of your man. Third one was just a farce. I don't think anyone's confident that the person next to them can do their job. Or if they're confident they can do their job, they're not confident that they're in the right frame of mind to do it. Professional footballers. That tonight was disgusting. Yes, it got a bit better in the second half. Yes, we scored. And Maduki, bless him, put his score up from probably about 3 because he was off pace. And I don't blame him. He don't get the minutes. And when you look back at our teams all right throughout the season, I don't know why it is, but there seems to be a core of players that get picked no matter how bad they are, and the rest of them get brought in willy-nilly for the odd game here. Can't get any sort of match fitness, can't get any sort of rhythm, and then they're off again. That David Datro Fofana, he's played 2 halves. Yes, he looks very raw, but you know what? 110% effort, the ball sticks to him, and when he loses it, he fights to get it back. And then tonight, we had a Aubameyang. I'm fat and 60 years old, but you know what? I would run around more than he did. I just don't get it. Everyone clamouring for Aubameyang to be in there. But, you know, to finish, you've got to be... Well, you've got to have service. He don't get much service, but he don't make the runs. He don't do anything. Absolutely useless. Why play him? Stick that David Datro Fofana in until the end of the season. What can we lose? And I was hoping that's the sort of thing I'd see from Frank, but no. Just this dross with the same old mistakes being made in initial team selection and in-game management. 71 minutes before they took Sterling off. Stevie Wonder would have had him off in 10 minutes. What's wrong with you, Frank? I'm just going to score. I can't say much because I'm embarrassed. I'm not even embarrassed the fact that we're not competing for any trophy. I'm just embarrassed by the all-round level of performance. The level of not doing the basics right. The level of effort. When the subs came on, that went up, but that's because Arsenal had took their foot off the pedal. And Mudryk, poor bugger, with that... Do you know, Arsenal should lose them points, even if we don't get them, just for that constant shining of a laser pen in his eyes. That was disgusting. A few other things went against us. I thought the bloke could have walked for catching Fofana in the eye, but if it had been the other way round, it'd been Conor Gallagher done it to one of theirs, they probably would have done. Right, the score this lot. Kepa gets a 5, looked proper dodgy in the air tonight. His distribution was woeful, and I personally thought he should have got the first goal, but there you go. But right back we had Aspie. Aspie's going to get a 6 just for sheer effort. His legs might be gone. He might not be the defender he once was, but you know what? He was sweating. He was working hard at both ends of the pitch. He made mistakes galore, but you know what? He gets a 6 for the sheer effort, and I'll take my hat off to you. Thank you. Thank you, Aspie. You can go in to get your wages. Go in and get your wages. Imagine that, getting 350 grand in a little brown envelope. That's one for the older ones out there. Without being embarrassed picking them up. Fofana gets 5, out of position woefully a few times. There's a good player in there, just needs bringing out. Silva gets a 6.5. Great clearance on the line when he brought it down with his knee and cleared it. I like that. Caught out of position a few times because he just overrun. Chile gets a 6.5, same as Silva. Well coming forward, set up the goal, put a shift in. In the midfield, Enzo gets a 4. I thought he was pretty bland tonight. I can see why he got brought off, but I think he's fed up with no movement in front of him. He gets the ball, he looks up, you can see he wants to play it, and there's no one moving for him. He had a Aubameyang who he looked like one of them statues you get at the Edinburgh Fringe, where he might as well painted himself silver and stood on a box. Absolutely useless. Yeah, so Enzo, I think he's just getting a bit frustrated and probably regrets joining, because if I was him, I would. In front of them, we had Kovacic, who gets a 3. What's gone wrong with Kovacic? Gives the ball away far too much. Runs into trouble. I don't know what's wrong with him. Like he is like a headless chicken. Next to him, Kante gets a 5. Not his best game tonight. I see him getting slated on social media at half time. That's 4 times Kante's given it away. Well, that's because he's playing slightly forward than where he normally is at home. And that's because he's got no support around him and no one moving. He also won it back about 8 times in that time. But, I don't even bother arguing with these people now. It wasn't his best game, but you try telling me that N'Golo Kante was the worst player on that pitch. Yeah, right. I think I need to get a pair of these glasses so that I can see the same game as some of these. In front of them, we had Sterling. Sterling gets a 0. And the only reason he gets a 0 is because I don't think you can have minuses, can you? When you're scoring people? Because he'd be a minus if you could. Absolute dross. Absolute dross. I'd love to sit with a coaching staff and say, what did he do? Show it to me. Because I missed it. I must have blinked. And then we had Madueke, gets a 5. He scored. Defensively, he weren't up to much. When he lost the ball, very rarely tried to get back. But I suppose he looks around at all those senior professionals and thinks, well, they're not asked when they lose it, apart from N'Golo. So why should I bother? I bet he looks around at Aubameyang, thinks, oh, you just stand there like a statue if you lose the ball. I bet he looks at Sterling and thinks, oh, I don't even know what he does. Is he in the team? Aubameyang gets 1, like I say. You might as well have one of them statues there, paint him gold and get kids to throw coins at him and have the photograph taken with him, because he'd be as much use doing that as he was out there tonight. I don't know what that Datro Fofana's done. I don't know if he's gone round Bowley's house and hit on his missus or something, but I just don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I watched him play for the development squad the other day. Not the other day, about 3 weeks ago now. Scored, but he was just a right unit, put himself about, and we could have done with that out there. Capable of holding the ball up. Totally different to Aubameyang. Proper centre forward. Aubameyang used to be a good finisher, but he's retired. He's on a yacht. In his head, he's on a yacht in the Mediterranean. Don't blame him either. And if some mug was going to pay me, what is it, 250 grand a week, to sit on the bench and occasionally walk around for 45 minutes, yeah, give it here. I say Mudryk come on, made a difference. Even Havertz was an upgrade on Aubameyang. Ziyech come on. I don't know what the point is. I honestly don't know what the point is. He wants to go. He's leaving at the end of the year. What's the point? To be fair to him, he put a couple of decent balls in. I don't know. And Frank Lampard gets a 1 tonight. When I saw that team sheet, I saw Sterling on there. And for me, I know people wanted him in the team, but I saw Aubameyang on there. I knew exactly what we were going to get. We were going to get Romelu Lukaku with anorexia. And that is exactly what we got. That is Aubameyang summed up in one go, isn't it? Yeah, Frank, I don't know. Sterling instead of Mudryk. Aubameyang instead of Fofana. You know, I just play the kids. Got nothing to lose, have we? I don't think we'll go down. But who knows? I don't even know if we'll get points against Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest. We're just on the beach. I don't think there is anyone who can motivate this lot. Everyone's on about Pochettino, but if he's watching that, you know, a few journalists are saying it's not banged to rights yet that he's going to take the job. So it must be so much wrong behind the scenes. It must be. Anyway, I'm not going to go on and on and on. I'm fed up. I'm going to go to bed. Okay. Let me know what you what you think. I'm sorry about this pretty negative review, but I can't see anything positive at the minute. Only thing I can see positive is that football's in cycles. I've seen us in bad times before, and I'm sure I'll see us in bad times again, but things will get better. So stick in there. So many people on social media arguing, abusing each other because they got different views. You know, unless it's a total cabbage abusing people. You know, I mean, really abusing people. I'm not just saying what they think of a player, but send it, death threats and all that, like Mason Mount got. That's just a real cabbage. Then I can't see the point. I suppose you find out all about your support base in the bad times, not the good. Same as players, isn't it? A lot of these players have been found out. Right, that's all from me. Please subscribe to the channel and let me know your thoughts. That's why I do these. Please throw the video a like, and I shall speak to you after Bournemouth up to Chelsea.